An Alaskan contractor thought he'd secured a great deal on some Caterpillar parts. When the deal evaporated, he took the would-be sellers to court in Alaska Northern Development versus Alyeska Pipeline Service. Alyeska Pipeline Service was a joint venture owned by several oil companies, formed to construct pipelines to transport oil from fields on the north slope of Alaska to ports in the southern part of the state. It purchased a lot of construction supplies, some of which it ended up not using. David Reed was president of a contracting company called Alaska Northern Development. In 1976, Reed contacted Alyeska to see if he could purchase some of Alyeska's surplus parts. Alyeska asked him to write up a proposal. On December 10th, Reed sent Alyeska a letter of intent in which he proposed to purchase the entire Alyeska inventory of Caterpillar parts. This letter omitted a purchase price. Alyeska responded with its own letter of intent, which also left out a price. This letter stated that the agreement was, quote, subject to the final approval of the owner committee, unquote. Reed received an unsigned copy of this letter on December 11th. Reed and Alyeska discussed terms and agreed to a price of 65% of Alyeska's price. Alyeska's contracts manager filled in the price term in the letter of intent and signed it. The following March, the owners committee rejected the proposed transaction. Alaska Northern sued Alyeska for breach of contract. Alaska Northern argued that its first letter dated December 10th was an offer and Alyeska's December 11th reply was an acceptance. It contended that the language in the December 11th letter of intent meant only that the owner committee would review the agreement to determine whether the price was fair and reasonable, not to approve the contract as a whole. Alyeska countered that it had never told Reed that the owners committee's authority would be limited that way and argued that the parties hadn't formed a contract. Alaska Northern wanted to submit external evidence indicating that the owners committee's approval power was limited. The court held that the parole evidence rule barred the admission of extrinsic evidence, so Alaska Northern couldn't establish breach of contract. The court granted Alyeska's summary judgment. Alaska Northern appealed to the Alaska Supreme Court.